Hello, and thank you for taking the time to learn about our new food recommendation application, Foodi. First and foremost, let's meet the team. I'm Matt. I worked on the UI UX development for the app, and I was also the business portal lead.
My name is Emerson Flom. I was the Firebase administrator and source control lead for the application.
My name is Bryn Lofness, and I was the product owner and data processing and analysis lead.
My name is Jane Pohoretsky, and I'm the UI, UX development and design lead.
Next, we'll meet our client, Hector Salas. In January of 2020, at the annual Go at CMU event, Hector brought forward an idea about a mobile application that would allow people to expand their taste buds and their usual dining spots in a well-thought-out, personalized manner. Hector reminded us of the very relatable situation many of us experience: wanting to go out for food, considering trying a new place, and then just returning to the same familiar restaurant we always go to and getting the same exact thing we always get. Though it works well for many, we miss out on opportunities to find meals we might love even more. Interested in the possibility and usefulness of such a system, our team began developing Foodi. Taking the project from a vision to reality, it required the outline of some benchmark requirements. First and foremost, an accessible mobile application with an easy-to-use layout for users to input previous meals and find recommendations for new foods. In addition, ensuring our design didn't just give general meal options, and that predictions were in some way intelligent was also listed as a benchmark requirement. We also needed to provide a way for food options to be populated by restaurants to the Foodi app. Therefore, we also decided to make a business portal to support that need.
The main technologies used in development were the Dart programming language, the Flutter framework, and the Firebase database. We picked the Flutter framework because it allows our app to be on both Android and iOS devices. Let's jump into the demonstration of our app now.
So now that we're in the Foodi app itself, we can sign in as a new user. In this case, we will be Hector Salas, and this brings us to our onboarding process. The first thing we get to decide is what our lifestyle is. If we're vegetarian, we can select it, but for the moment, we'll leave it blank. Next, we get brought to our no-go foods page. This is where a user can determine either if they don't like to eat a food or if they're allergic, and our application won't recommend it. I know that Hector doesn't like sweet potatoes, so we can go to sweet potatoes, save that, and then move on to the quiz section. Here, we use a which do you like more style quiz in order to gain a baseline metric for the user. This is what we'll be using to create their initial food profile, which will allow us to create recommendations until they start to input more data as the user. Now we can go to the home page of the application.
Yeah, so now we will view the add food process, which is the underlying system that contributes to and guides the recommendation system. We'll walk you through this process with an example entry. Let's say that Hector went to Cafe Sol and he ordered a kale salad. He loved the salad, and he especially loved the cucumbers and artichokes. This rating will change our underlying metrics held within our Firebase database and help tailor recommendations for Hector. Going to the profile page, we can see that Hector's new profile is empty as he has not used the app for a very long time. His salad appears in the cuisine pie chart, but the rest of his profile does not have a lot of information. Let's view what the app would look like for a seasoned user whose food profile has been better captured.
So to see a seasoned user, we are going to log in as Dwayne Johnson. He's been a longtime user of the app, and that way we'll be able to see more solidified metrics based on his previous food entries, and we'll be able to get a better sneak peek at what it might look like for other users in the app. So first, we'll check out the recommendation page, the key component of our system. Our recommendation system currently is based on a summation model. Our app considers ingredient usage and previous food ratings. The model iteratively considers each food for all restaurants, and based on ingredient values stored in the database, calculates a value for how much a user might like that food. We can see here on this page that we have 3 top options given to the user, Dwayne, and a button for Dwayne to jump to the next 3 top options.
Going to the profile page, we can see a breakdown of all the meals recorded on the app. Currently, the app only stores information for meals eaten at registered restaurants. You can see in this recorded meal breakdown that each cuisine is also listed with the count of meals under the cuisine category. Scrolling to the snapshot, we can see a shareable snapshot where users can share top ingredients they've been eating, their highest rated dish, and top cuisines they've been favoring. This snapshot adds the social component of expanding taste palettes that our client Hector was really excited about. Though Foodi is not a social media app, it does allow users to incorporate its features into their social media presence.
The application also supports changing the user's preferences, such as their name and profile picture, as you can see here. And this populates throughout the app, as well as changing their dietary preferences at a later time. So it might be difficult to become a vegetarian in real life, but with Foodi, it's just the flip of a switch. And this also is reflected in Dwayne's recommendations, as now you can see, no meats here. That concludes our application portion. We'll now go back to the website and business portal side of things.
Moving on to the business portal. As a developer, it's a very arduous and time-consuming task to go into restaurants' menus and add ingredients one by one and dishes one by one. Thus, the business portal was born. The business portal allows restaurants to connect to the Foodi application via website. So restaurants can go in, add their menus, and it will appear on the Foodi application. The Foodi business portal was constructed using Materialize, a CSS framework, Ember.js, and Heroku, on which it's hosted on. So let's get into the demonstration. So our app is hosted at foodi-business.herokuapp.com, and the welcome page just explains how restaurants can connect to the Foodi application, as seen on the left. So let's get started. We can either sign in or we can sign up, but we're going to choose to sign in as Noodles & Company. And once we type in our credentials, we can begin to go to the application. As you can see in the database, it can populate with its name, its email, its address, and its description. User can choose to update this at any time by doing the update profile section. However, I think the profile is pretty good, so let's move on to Noodles menu. You can get to the menu by going to the Add Dishes category. As you can see, Noodles has a couple dishes already entered. If you want to see the description of a dish, you can go and click on it. It will expand the menu. You could click on a different item, and if you don't want any expanded, you can just click on the item. But let's go ahead and add another dish to our menu. So one dish I really like at Noodles is the barbecue mac and cheese. And its style of cuisine is most definitely American. It's got pork, barbecue, cheese, noodles. And I'd say it's a twist on an American classic. So once we're done filling out the form, we can go ahead and add our food. As you can see, the food gets added to the list immediately. We can see the description. All the ingredients and style of cuisine is hosted on our database, so it's not going to be visible to the user. However, and we can sign out, and we begin the next steps for Foodi.
So there are many next steps that could be implemented for Foodi, just giving to the sheer potential of an app of this scope. Here are just a few that we discussed as a team. We discussed there could be a potential for a premium account for restaurants, allowing for specialized metrics about customers' ingredients usage and food preferences. This feature would provide an incentive for restaurants to populate the Foodi app. It could also feature expanded recommendation filters for users relating to specific cuisines or ingredients they want their food recommendations to pertain to. We could also alter our current model to an AI predictive model, which could occur once we had a larger user base. We could also add the capability for users to add foods from home or find new foods to make at home by offering recipes. These next steps speak directly to the potential of this Foodi system. We're very excited to have brought this proof of concept food recommendation system to life and feel that it could benefit users who just want to try new foods and expand their taste palette, but also help restaurants better fit consumers' meal needs and desires in a fun and easy to use way.
Thank you for taking the time to learn about our new food recommendation system, Foodi. We had a lot of fun bringing this project into fruition.